All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 633 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. We jump into the Falcons today. We're going to be talking about owner Arthur Blank. Did a press conference today. You know, he does take his time out from time to time to speak to the press, whether it be press conference or just straight interview. And one thing I like about our owner, he's a pretty level-headed, a humble guy, and he doesn't do too much in the limelight. Most of the stuff he does is behind the scenes, and he's fairly low key. I do feel bad for him because he should have had a Super Bowl by now. Thank you, Kyle Shanahan and Devontae Freeman, but that's another story for another day. We already know the story, so it probably won't be spoken on another day. But nevertheless, he does have a successful soccer team, and for the most part, the football team itself is on the uptick. So, the title of this podcast is definitely on point today. So, if this is your first time here, welcome. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Take your time if you're listening on the podcast avenue. Give me a 5-star rating on that Apple Podcast Avenue. Also, leave a review. I think I'm gonna start reading some of the reviews again. Some guys do give some feedback in the comment section on YouTube, and I really appreciate it. Also, I really need to get back into the swing of things of reading the reviews on Apple because I haven't done it in a while. Also, I can be found on Twitter, or I guess they call it X now, at VF Baller. And the website is firstandframerates.com. All right, let's just go ahead and just cut to the chase. Coach I'm about to say Coach Arthur Blank Smith, but owner Arthur Blank did a 20-minute press conference today, and basically what he was talking about was how he feel about the team, how he feel about the coaches in the front office, and he actually talked about Matt Ryan for a second, but I'm not going to get into any of that. It's one thing that I pulled from this press conference, and this is one thing I like to do when I look at a lot of articles or press conferences. I like to pull one thing out that I find that's important. And instead of going through the entire press conference, if I can help it, I'll try to pull one thing out. And he did talk about Desmond Ridder, but we've talked about Desmond Ridder for a while. But I want to talk about the expectations because he expects more from this team. Last 2 seasons, they won 7 games with a severely overachieving team. This team both of these teams had no business winning 7 games, being in the running for the the division title in both seasons. They were really close, almost to the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season. Both of these teams should have been winning anywhere between 2 and maybe 4 games. But they did pretty good for themselves. But now 2023. I'm going to tell you exactly what he said, and this is what I took out of this entire press conference, because this is what matters the most, in my opinion. He said they asked him about the 2023 season and what his expectations were. He said, I expect us certainly to, I said that backwards. Let me back up. Slow down, VF. I expect us to certainly win more games than we won the last couple of years. Where that puts us or what number that will be, I'm not sure. So basically he wants more. I don't think he just wants 8 wins. To be quite honest, I don't think he wants 9 wins. I'm pretty sure he wants the team to be above 500. And 9 and 8 does put you above 500, but I think he wants 10 or more wins. That's just my gut feeling, because I want 10 or more wins. I think 10 wins is the ceiling. If you're willing to win 7, if you're capable of winning 7 games with the teams that we had the last couple of years, and you make an overhaul of so much within this last 4 or 5 months, and you can't get 3 more wins out of what you put together, something's wrong. I think somebody that was in my comment section on YouTube a while back said that Coach Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot was on a short leash. I will say this. As the days go by, I'm starting to believe that. I'm starting to believe it's maybe a shorter leash than we think. You can't gut this entire team, not only with personnel, but salary, revamp and overhaul this team the way you did and still be under 500. That right there is not going to fly. So at first I didn't think about it, but the more I think about it, I think he was on to something. And the way things are now, it would definitely be unacceptable if they go 7-10 again. 9-8, and maybe that'll be safe. But you gotta be over 500. So 9-8 is probably the safest bet. 10 wins is okay. 10 wins will probably win you the division. So 10 wins is cool. And I think 10 is I think I said earlier 10 is the ceiling. I think 10 is the floor. You cannot win, you gotta win at least 10 or more. I just put it like that. And I feel like if you're going to overhaul this team and bring all this talent in, I will go, 4 or 5 steps further. You need to get this team, Coach Arthur Smith needs to get this team in the running of NFC championships at least the next 3 years. And I say championships, so you need to be at least 2 or better. And I don't even know if a Super Bowl, just a Super Bowl appearance, would be good enough. Because you gotta understand, this owner was basically, 15, I would say 7, 8 minutes away from a Super Bowl title. So I don't know how the owner feels. That may not even be enough. But me personally, I feel like you need to be in contention of the NFC title at least, the next in the next 3, at least 2 out of the next 3 years. I'll say 3 out of the next 5 years if you're going to be here that long. You need to make a deep playoff run because you don't overhaul this team just to continue to be at 7-10 or 9-8. The moves they're making, these are like 11 and 12 11 and 12, 13 win moves. This is what they're doing. So the expectations, I totally get it. So, with that being said, I'm on team Arthur Blank all the way. You have to be in the running for a deep playoff run within the next few years, and it's not even to me, it's not even up for debate. Before I get out of here, I want to ask this: is this team capable of doing it? Are the expectations for that Arthur Blank has, are they obtainable? Are they reachable? Yes, I absolutely think they are. I mean, you see what Desmond Ridder is doing. He, everybody hangs on a bad pass in training camp or whatever the case may be. It is crazy. Don't get me wrong. It can't be consistent, but I'm not going to hang my hat on it like, oh my God, this is the worst thing in the world, because he looks pretty sharp out there for the most part. I mean, you just have to have the consistency to look like you want to be QB1. The defense is looking really good. I can't wait to see what these guys look like in about 10 days. You're going to see some of this defense playing against, some different talent, a different team in the preseason. And I can't wait to see that. Give you my thoughts and opinions on that. That's going to be really cool to see. And also, I want to see what this passing game is going to look like. The running game, I don't have a problem with the running game. So I think that with this team, the way it's set up, I think they have definitely can achieve what owner Blake wants to put out there. He wants this team to be competitive. Like I said, I feel for the guy. The guy was like really, he's supposed to have a Super Bowl ring on his finger. I know people like to troll and they like to talk about the Falcons. That's my team. I love them. I love the team or whatever the case may be. But I mean, if somebody really wants to be honest, this team should have had a Super Bowl ring, back, in 2083. There was no business for this team to collapse like that. And it happened and it sucks, but I'm not really hanging my hat on the team anymore. Like I said, it's 2 people that I already blamed earlier in this podcast. But when you have an owner that was that close, his expectations should be high. He put everything in place. He put the guys in place to make it happen. And albeit it's not Terry Fontenot and Coach Arthur Smith's fault, not by a long shot, but he just has expectations at this point. Yeah, certainly ever since then, the Atlanta United did get a championship in the soccer league, so he does have a taste for some form of championship, and the Falcons is his baby, and he wants the Falcons to be on top. And for all intents and purposes, ever since he's been here, he's done a good job trying to get the right personnel here to do some things. I mean, I think outside of the Bobby Petrino thing, I mean, outside of that, I mean, you basically, did a pretty good job with all your coaching hires, in my opinion. I mean, but I think at the end of the day, it is achievable. What the front office has done with this team is absolutely commendable. They've done a great job even prior to free agency. The moves and the draft picks and all the things they've done look like they've done something really good here, and it looks like they're going to be on their way. One thing I would like to say, one more thing before I get out of here. I want to see Frank Darby step up and do something. I mean, Frank Darby has just been all over the place the last few years, to be honest with you, but you just don't ever see him do anything. And he looks like he has all the tools to do so. I don't want to go down that path. It's a whole nother rabbit hole that I can go down on that one. But he's actually looking pretty decent in training camp too. I mean, this is year 3, sir. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go no further with that. If you like this commentary, like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think, man. Coach Arthur, not Coach Arthur, owner Arthur Blank has expectations. What do you guys think? I think that they're warranted. He needs to go ahead and put it out there on the line and, don't stop telling people what his expectations are. They want to win more games, and I believe he wants to win 10 or better. I want them to win 10 or better. In the next 3 to 4 years, they need to be in the NFC title game at least twice. And I'm dead serious about that. And the only reason why I say that is because what the owner has been through already. I mean, he was literally 7-8 minutes away from holding a Super Bowl title. So, I mean, let's not sit here and, we could point the finger about what happened. But when you look at it from his standpoint, his expectations should be high because of what he's been through. I could be found on YouTube and Rumble, also on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, Google Podcasts. Check out your Stitcher podcast that should be going down within the next couple of weeks. I will have the actual date up on the next episode to let you guys know. So if you're on Stitcher, jump over there to the Apple or Google Podcast. And if you're on Apple Podcast, give me a 5-star rating and give me some feedback, man. I'm going to read some of those reviews, because I don't know. I haven't read them in probably about a year, man. It's been my fault. So I don't know what the reviews are like, but I definitely need to go check them out. So thank you guys for all the support. Thank you for all the kind words you guys have been giving the love to the podcast. I really appreciate it. Also on X at VF Baller, and the website is firstofrayrace.com. All right, y'all, I'm out of here. See you guys later. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. All right, y'all. Y'all be blessed. Peace.